It is the Touchline Podcast here with myself, Oarabile and Vincent.
How are you doing, my lady?
I'm fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic. My team got a dub today. I just watched the snooze fest, but here at Arsenal, we're good. We're good. How are you feeling?
Listen, you know what? I feel like I just went through a second half of the first half of the last time we played there because nothing's changed. It's still kandi. We're still
I don't
trying to
know.
suss each other out. I don't know why. Like people just don't want close the gap on Man City, and two, we apparently just don't want top four.
For apparently the two most successful sides, or two out of the three most successful sides in English Premier League football, that was an absolute atrocity in terms of a showing. So, yeah, I don't know why I didn't watch Love Island instead, to be honest.
I should have. I'm out here looking all blue, literally lips, shirt, pants, you name it. Even my slippers are blue, and I'm just like, I feel blue now.
Shout out to the blue side. I see the blue lips as well. You really went all out for the pod. I respect
Nah,
you.
I was ready. But you know what? Let's get into the chat. Let's talk about the game. Like we said, they were sussing each other out. The chances were there. It's not that they weren't. Both keepers made a little bit of a fumble here and there, but
Yeah.
nobody took advantage, man. How did you find that game, Vince?
Do you know what? I feel like it almost felt to me like it was two managers that had just come into their position, or as I say, come into their roles. And it just
Yeah.
felt like it almost seemed to me like they weren't sure of their personnel. Also, I mean,
Mm,
there were just so many deciding factors in terms of the game. There were so many situations where you felt like the game could have gone differently had something happened. One was
that
obviously
the handball.
the handball. You know, obviously, if it was against, because it was against Manchester United, I'm inclined to say
I'm
it wasn't.
listening. Choose your words carefully.
In fairness,
Uh-huh.
under the new handball rules,
It should have been given.
it should have been given. But I
That's
respect
true.
I respect the referee for not giving it, because I found that in a game of such magnitude, it would have been incredibly wrong in terms of, in a footballing sense, for such a soft penalty to be given in such a huge game. So I fully respect the
Yeah.
ref for making the right decision in term for a football purist. But under the rules currently, it should have been a penalty.
I think he was just evening it out. I mean, the last time we played, Maguire was out here hugging people's kids by the neck, and we should have gotten a penalty. So we're like, the last
No.
time what happened was.
But that's your hard speed. There's no such thing as football heritage when it comes to those kind of things. We're not going to bring in the Mourinho chats. But yeah, Giroud also had a really, really good chance of a beautiful
Mm,
delivery. I think it was,
by Hudson
yeah,
Odoi.
but
Yeah.
and that boy is playing under Tuchel, might I just say. Um,
Yeah.
so I feel, and I mean, Bruno Fernandes, a guy who is an incredible stat padder.
And
Um,
you saw today that he didn't have a good game and he was getting angry. You could see it on his face that this is not how I want to play my football.
Do you know? I mean, I'm very opinionated when it comes to Bruno Fernandes. You know, I find
Yeah.
him a pure, and it's not to hate on him, but I just feel like he's such a, because his name is always galvanized by the goals and the assists. But when you actually
Mhm.
watch him, you tend to think, man, is he really that good, or is he just a pure YouTube footballer? So
Yeah.
there
I
was
mean,
one
sometimes,
pass where,
yeah.
there was one
No, no,
pass,
no.
yeah, in this game where I felt like it was a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2, and the correct pass to Rashford, he's through on
Was
goal,
not
and
there.
I just thought to myself, why is your pass not that great in the final third when
Yeah.
we know you've got a
Yeah.
great pass? So yeah, it's a game of fine margins, I thought.
But don't you look at it this way that if Bruno Fernandes doesn't perform, Manchester United doesn't perform because he seems to be literally the swing, like he's swinging on this side and coming back to block on the other side. And today he was nowhere
Yeah.
to be seen.
He's always the catalyst in everything that Manchester United
Yeah.
do either well or they do wrong, So gone
Yeah.
are the days where, if Paul Pogba had a good game, Manchester United would have a good game,
Good
Now it's
game.
essentially,
Yeah.
yeah, now it's essentially the Bruno Fernandes saga. So I don't know. I don't know if it was a matter of Bruno not being up to his, lofty standards,
Real
or
standards. Yeah.
if it was just a matter of, I mean, Chelsea did really well. I mean, in terms of this game, in terms of protecting their center backs, in terms of having the bodies right in front of that defense. They kept an incredibly compact position. And we've seen that kind of football under Tuchel. It doesn't have to be glamorous. Doesn't have to be beautiful to watch, but they get the results. And he still gets to lose a game. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think Tuchel will take that. He'll be happy with the point, and perhaps Ole will also be all right at the point, seeing what a hot run of form Chelsea were on. And it's the bridge. I mean, really.
I'm looking at it and I saw both the lineups at first, and I'm like, interestingly, the dynamics are going to be interesting because when you play a back three and a back four in a team, that already means the team is going to play in a certain way. But when I looked at Chelsea's team, I'm like, this is so tactical. If you have Kante there instead of Jorginho, you're protecting your midfield. So that's 100%. How I felt about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So the minute I saw that, I was like, oh, we're going for another draw. And look at that, it happened.
And another snooze. And it's exactly what you said at the start of the show, that it was an exact replica of the game that they had, earlier this season. So it's just, it's a little bit sad because, these were games that used to be absolutely tantalizing. And this game was anything but. So, but I suppose now, we can't be treated to a beautiful 3-1, game in Arsenal and Leicester and then think we're going to get the same when it comes to Chelsea and United.
I love how you're jumping the gun. We'll get into your team just now. I just want to round off this conversation about Manchester and Chelsea. Looking at now, each one having gained 1 point. What does that mean now for Manchester United? Because that means they've lost momentum now on Manchester City, who, if they win the next game, that is 15 points clear. Mind you, Man U play Crystal Palace, and then it is the Manchester derby.
Do you know, I know we all built up this title race to go and be a thing, but if we are incredibly honest with ourselves and we've seen how Manchester City have just come together this season and everything essentially working right, and you do not expect them to go off the boil, there is no title race this season. It's gone. City are going to run away with it. I mean, it's come to a situation where City are really, it's just a matter of, swapping personnel now. They've got a squad on the bench that can win the league.
Imagine having a B team that is also just as good.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. It's spoiled for riches. So I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking United probably had a chance. If they could have churned those draws into wins, a couple of weeks ago and kept City, kept their minds ticking in a sense. Yeah. Then it would have been a different thing because obviously a team that's 5 or 6 or now 10 points ahead plays incredibly different to a team that is essentially 1 point behind or 1 or 2 points ahead. Pressure is incredibly telling, especially in football. So I personally don't think that United are going to challenge City, but I do believe that now it's just a matter of the next places. Who's second? Who's third? Who's fourth? Who's going to make those top four places?
That's very true. I mean, looking at the points that both teams have earned, none of them move in any way. They are not scared of any team behind them. Leicester lost today, like you have already mentioned. And also with us, West Ham having lost yesterday, and also knowing that we are now 4 points clear from Liverpool, who are currently playing or will be playing soon against Sheffield. Both teams, I guess, can take the point. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world at this point.
It doesn't change anything based on how those top 6 are looking right now. This result was not the worst thing in the world, and I'm pretty sure if each manager was asked at the start of the game, is each manager happy with a point? Scoreless. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tuchel would have bitten your hand off, and Ole would have been, absolutely straightforward. Yeah, for sure.
That is very true. And now, Vincent, we get to your side of London. Woo! Sip! Oh,
hello! Oh, we're eating nicely that side at Victoria Concordia Crescent.
This is the Leicester and Arsenal game. Leicester going down 1-3 to Arsenal. And also looking at the Leicester Curse. We're going to talk about the Leicester Curse because this happened last season too. Leicester were in the top 4. They were cruising. They were points ahead. And then injuries. Kappa. Now it's injuries. Kapoo.
have you seen that injury list? You know, and it's not even
growing.
a matter of, it's bad, and it's not even a matter of, you know, the amount of injuries. It's the personnel that are being injured. It's who's getting injured. Harvey Barnes, Justin, James Madison, Pride. So it's bad, you know. Everyone that, you know, that list of injury-ridden guys, you know, or guys that are essentially in the treatment room. These are guys that essentially start for Leicester on any given day. You know, James Madison has been on the hottest run of form in the past. I want to say the past 2 months. And we also know he had a very slow start to the season because he was injured and he was being phased in by Brennan as well. And we were wondering, you know, is James ever going to get back to playing the football that, you know, he's known for? Yeah. And for him to come back, and then, you know, now for him to have a niggling injury, from what I've heard is that he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. I read a Brendan Rodgers transcript, so we don't know how long he's going to be out for. Look, Leicester sometimes, you know, not even sometimes, they're a fantastic side
most
to
of
watch.
the time.
Most of the time, they're a fantastic side. They're a fantastic side to watch, and it's just so unfortunate that perhaps it's and we know that they invest in their players, but perhaps it's how thin the squad is, that there's a reason why they don't have the legs to go and carry them through to end the season.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And I don't know. I think I'm looking at that Leicester side now, and I'm thinking to myself, look, these guys were sitting in an incredibly great position in terms of finishing in the top 4. But now you're thinking to yourself, you know, they are essentially one injury away from essentially falling into a loss. You know, if they lose Vardy now, you wonder where do the goals come from?
I don't know. I mean, we love Iheanacho, and he makes the difference coming off the bench, but not so much when he starts. So that is something that Rodgers has to look at. But moving on to your side of the team, I mean, you guys, it was a comeback. It was a comeback win. I think a lot of us were expecting, you know, you guys to grow into the game. And also, Willian, Pepe, people had a good game today. What was going on?
I know. I watched that game because when the lineup first came out, I looked at the lineup and I thought to myself, how are you leaving my wonder kid Bukayo Saka on the bench when after the week that he had? I mean, he had an incredible performance against Benfica midweek, you know, and even in that game, you know, I think we trailed at a stage 2-1 at a stage. And just the character that the team had to come back from that again. And Benfica is a very challenging side as well. And then for this to happen, you know, when we went 1 goal down, I thought to myself, one of those days, here we go again. But the boys put a proper shift in. And from my Chelsea players, also Lady in Blue, thank you for your players.
No, we are the gift of the givers, as you know us. We give.
You get 3 points as well, but that's okay. That's a conversation. But yeah, I personally, I was so impressed with Willian today. I feel that, you know, sometimes we're sometimes a bit too critical of Willian in an Arsenal jersey, purely because of, you know, the Willian that we
on the Chelsea.
The Chelsea Willian, you know, and maybe the Willian that started the very first game for Arsenal, hat-trick of assists in his first game, and we were thinking, oh damn, you know, we got
this
something.
Is what we're getting this season.
Yeah, and for that to not have materialized the way we thought has just been a little bit disappointing. But Willian was honored today. Can we talk about Nicola Pepe, who was absolutely?
Thank you.
Oh no, listen. When I think it was when the left back got a yellow card in the very first half. And Pepe just kept on driving at this point. And Pepe was really a nuisance today. And he was linking up play.
Smart Rodgers took him out because he knew a red card was coming at 100%. Pepe's pace, man.
No. Pepe was on it today. And it was a small things for me. It was the runs in behind. It was the confidence to take a guy on, you know. It was the nutmegs here and there because that adds a little bit of flavor to the game as well. Gives them confidence because that is a Nicola Pepe that I know. But Nicola Pepe's performance is, I want to say, is so attributable to Cedric Suarez as well. Cedric in that right back position was so good today. He was so good today because he kept on giving Pepe the option, the overlapping run, and of course we love it when Pepe has that option because it drags the defender and he can come inside. He can start playing the 1-2s. He can put on the ball with his left foot. So Cedric Soares was incredible for Pepe today, which I feel that Bellerin does not do enough. Those overlapping runs that, Cedric does so much. So Nicola Pepe was amazing, but also Alexander Lacazette was...
Oh, he led from the front. He was the skipper. He held your guys' hands and he took you all the way to a 3-goal win. Can we talk about the David Luiz goal? Because you can clearly see that one is from the training ground. You could tell.
Straight from the training ground. And no one was switched onto it, because also Arsenal aren't known for those kind of, for being so tactically aware, because we are astute and we are known for being able to fall asleep, in these set pieces. But for us to have something like that ready and for it to be executed that well, no, what a goal. What a goal, And we don't score corners. So I was just so happy. I was so impressed. I was very, very happy. And all the other goals, as well. Willian also providing a beautiful assist. Pepe doing his things as well. I was very happy with that performance. So you essentially just hoping that now it builds momentum.
Everybody came to the party, and just looking at also where you guys are at on the log, a lot of the teams actually did you guys favors with the results that went their way. Draws here, losses there. You guys are in a good position, man. The confidence must be really high at Arsenal, considering how up and down the season has been.
Considering how bad it was. There was obviously a stage in August. I think it was between August and September, where we literally went through a whole month of games. I think it was August the 12th to September the 4th, to September the 14th, and we'd literally gained 1 point. And I just think to myself, man, if I had gotten 9 points over that period, where would Arsenal be sitting?
Be now?
And it's those very, very frustrating things that you think to yourself, and you think, man, what could have been of the season, But the guys are shaping together, quite well now. My captain was on the bench today, and honestly, well-deserved rest. I would have loved to see him go in with this rich run of form that he was in. But I also prefer a healthy roster. I prefer a healthy team. So the fact that the boys were able to come in and get the points against number 2 in the league.
Yeah, without him.
Leicester is also my daily bread, really. Leicester, even in their championship season, 2015-2016, that league that they stole from Arsenal, we did a double over these guys. I feel Leicester is my daily bread. When I see a Leicester tie,
I don't remember it being that way. They stole it from Arsenal.
They did. They stole it. I'll never forgive Arsene Wenger for not buying a striker in that January transfer window. That league was ours. You know what? I will let you have it. That's okay. That is all right. But you know what? I'm happy for your team. Mine drew a point. Yours got 3. Now, I want to move on to the last segment of the touchline tonight. That is the Europa League draw. The last 16 is coming up on the 11th of March. And Arsenal have Olympiacos. Yeah,
let's talk about that, because they knocked y'all out last season.
they proper broke my heart properly last season.
But look at it this way: you guys have the first leg. You guys are playing away, so you have that advantage to try to get those goals in the first leg. So go for it.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit better now. I mean, we're all looking for COVID to go away, but if COVID can hang around for a little bit now, while we play our first leg, that would be great, because those Greek fans are absolutely torturous. I fully, I don't want to say fully expect, but I feel confident. I feel confident that the side can go and do what they need to do in the Europa. Do you know, I look at, who's in the Europa League right now, and I don't think I would be reaching if I said that I think we can win it. Every single time every single season Arsenal's in the Europa, I fully believe that we can win it. This one blue side from London stole it from us. 2 seasons ago, and that's a chat for a different day. But I fully think that we can do it. I fear Olympiacos if they go a goal ahead. I don't fear them if they go a goal ahead. I fear our ability to come back and be able to pinch that game. Even though we've had good, shall I say, attitude in terms of be able to come back from a goal down.
Yes, yeah.
It's a little bit difficult with Olympiacos. I remember playing them. I know how compact they can be. I know how rough they can be, and I know how physical they are. And unfortunately, I look at my front line, and I don't see physical guys. I don't see guys that are willing to put a shift in. It's the beautiful football that we play, in the front. So I think Arsenal will take that tie, but I do think that the first game will be a draw.
Okay, like a scoring draw. You need that away goal.
I think with Aubameyang being rested, with how fluid we've been now going forward, I expect a 1-1 draw there. But come the time that they come to the Emirates, I expect, I expect us to do our things.
All right, perfecto. Now looking at the next team, that is Manchester United, that have been drawn against AC Milan. Zlatan is coming home, yo. He's coming to home.
And I'm excited. That's a tie that excites me.
Looking at the run that AC Milan were, unfortunately, they've now been knocked off by Inter in Serie A, but AC Milan are still a confident and dominating team.
AC Milan are hot right now, and he spoke about it last week as well on the touchline. We know how good Piola is as a manager. We know how good Zlatan is as a character, and we all know he's going to have something to prove against Manchester United. He's going to want to show them that that glory year.
Come on,
when they won that Mickey Mouse treble.
When he won it for them,
100%.
Him and Pogba.
That little Mickey Mouse treble that has been an anomaly in terms of Manchester United's last decade. Conversation for another day. I think that he's going to want to prove something, and I do not expect Man United to come out of any of those fixtures with a win. Any of them.
That is bold.
It's not even bold. I just feel. Do you know what? Here's the thing with Ole and my other two, Manchester United compatriots that aren't on right now know that this gent is just. He doesn't have it in those big games, and when he does get it in those big games, it's really all down to individual brilliance. That PSG win. That was individual brilliance. That was not an Ole masterclass. So never ever have I seen United go through a game and I think to myself, and I think outplay, outclass, outmaneuver a side.
Character, passion,
It's not that. It's not. So I think AC Milan, given how hot they are right now, given the fact that they know that they're out of the Champions League and they fully need to make sure, given the season that they've had, it would just be so sad if
they don't win anything.
If they don't win anything,
whether it's the league or whether it's Europa. I hear you.
For sure.
I hear you chat, man.
So I think we know Juve is completely out. I mean, we don't know where Juve are going to end up in the Champions League. But yeah, it's a conversation. But I fully expect AC to come out of this one. First leg win, second leg
win.
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
And moving on into the last game that I want to focus on. One of your favorite teams. I don't know how you feel about them now, but beginning of the season, you were all for them. Tottenham, who have drawn DINAMO ZAGREB. Also, Tottenham having played earlier today, a 4-0 victory at Burnley. Gareth Bale, 68 seconds. That's all he needs.
Can we talk about Gareth Bale for just a hot minute? Wow.
I know. That is the Gareth Bale that I used to see at Real Madrid for Champions League nights. That is the Bale
that is the Gareth. And even this week, midweek, when that goal that he scored, checking the defender, I call that the Ronaldo flick. Checking the defender, putting it on your left foot and absolutely bulleting it from no angle. And then today's goals, if Gareth Bale's left foot went to varsity, it would have got magna cum laude. That's how educated that left foot is.
That's true. By now, he'd be having a PhD rather.
PhD. No, he was so hot today, and I trust him so much in those positions. And just I think essentially everything's starting to click now. You have Kane back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
You have Son doing what he's doing. You've got Kane back.
You have
back.
You have Lucas Moura too, who's now also
Coming from the
chipping in a
bench.
little bit. Yeah.
And I think Dele Alli also got an assist today. That'll give him a little bit of confidence to maybe
after that goal last week, Charles. After that bicycle goal, he is all sorts right now.
With this badge here, I shouldn't and I know I called it that, this would be a hot season for Tottenham. And I don't know how Mourinho's let me down. But with this badge, I should hate that Tottenham side. But man, I look at that.
But you still don't, no.
I really don't. I think it's because I love the manager. I love his character. I love the arrogance. I love the tenacity. And then
I'm also on that one.
Hey, and then you look at their front three and you think to yourself, are you not entertained? So back to your question, I fully expect Tottenham to go and to win those fixtures. I expect them to go but also Russia is a difficult place to go and play. But Mourinho, knockout games. We know what he did in 2000. He'll find a plan. We know what he did in 2018 with that Manchester United side. So they'll find a plan. They will win one of those fixtures. I think if Mourinho goes there and gets a draw, we know that come the time they come back to swim, they'll win. So I expect a comfortable passage through for Mourinho and the boys.
Final thoughts on Europa. Who do you think is going to make the final? Do you think they're going to be two English teams this season?
I think the final will be an English team and an Italian team.
I knew it! It was coming. I knew that was coming.
Gotta add a little bit of spice.
Listen, I share your sentiments. Whether that Serie A team is Inter or AC, I really don't care. I would love to see either one of them in the final. I think they both would have deserved it anyway. But I think maybe selfishly, I would love to see Conte in the final.
Of course you would, And if there's anyone who can win it, and we know a guy who is a serial winner.
It's him.
100%, 100%, yeah.
But yeah, man, that is how we wrap up Touchline tonight. How are you still feeling? Still feeling great? Gonna celebrate your victory?
Every single time Arsenal plays on a Sunday, I always feel like I have to go, fire up some Alicia Keys, try sleeping with a broken heart. But today I'm happy. I'm enjoying some nice berries over here. I'm wearing an Arsenal jersey from 10 years ago. Fabregas on my back.
I agree.
People need to know that I wasn't born yesterday. I've been with the side, okay?
That's true. You are not a Manchester City fan, and that is how we wrap up the show today. Vincent, thank you so much for joining me on the Touchline.
Thank you for having me, my lady. It's been fantastic.
Please do enjoy your week. But for all those that are still watching, soccer is up next. Sheffield United are currently hosting Liverpool, and looking at some of the games that are yet to play this week. Tomorrow night, we have Everton and Southampton, a game I'm looking forward to. And then on the 2nd of March, we have Man City and Wolves. And on the 4th of March, Chelsea will be heading over to Anfield. But I am Oarabile Diphoko Co. That is Vince from our side Touchline. Until next time, we're out.
Adios.